Hey, what's up, everyone? We're live. Thanks for joining the Next Step community. We are doing a live stream for today. It is Thursday, March 16th. So hope you're all ready for a nice, fun live stream. Excited for this one, because I had this idea. I had a new idea to do something fresh, something new with everyone. And what I will be doing is I think I'm going to release this video as a way for other people to see what it's like to be a Next Step community member. The perks, one of the biggest perks, I think, is being able to hang out with me live every day and join in, get more English for your ears to learn and get used to. And it's fresh, it's live. There's no editing, quick cuts and stuff. There's a lot of mistakes that I see myself doing just like that. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Thanks everyone for joining this live stream. How you all doing? So get ready for it. So what we do here for the Next Step community live stream that happens daily, I usually read through the news, the Sora News 24. If you're a longtime fan of our show, you probably know of Sora News 24, a very interesting website that has a lot of, pop cultural topics and stories that they talk about on their website, different articles, really, really fun stuff. Sometimes it's filled with food. Sometimes it's filled with a kind of controversial taboo topics about Japan and how other countries possibly see Japan, example like tattoos and stuff. So that's what I do, go through it and pick up some of the interesting words and phrases that we can all learn together. What's up? Thanks for joining everyone in the chat. So of course, if you are a part of the Next Step community, you can see these chats that are happening. People are talking to each other. I'm talking back and stuff. So it's a nice extra just motivation, energy for everyone to enjoy. So let's go through and find today's article. So I'm going to go to the website right here, Sora News 24, reading through some of the headlines and picking up one article that I think is interesting to talk about. So the first one is instant tempura and aburage from cup noodle maker Nissin coming to power up your noodle meals. Okay, again, food. We'll continue on, see what else we got. 6 sakura travel luxuries to make cherry blossom seasons extra special at Japan's premier resorts. Ooh, okay. Cherry blossom hanami season is coming closer and closer. It's getting warmer and warmer out, more beautiful. So we'll see. That one doesn't sound bad. Let's check out our other options we have, other headlines, other stories. Next one. Tokyo train operator installs baby care room to make rail travel easier for parents and infants. That's a big deal. Going through the trains, public transportation, just a solo can be really intimidating. There's a lot of things happening. You can get lost. You could meet some people. You can, I don't even know. Getting lost is probably the biggest one. But to do that stuff with a family, with kids, if your kids are very small, it could be even more intimidating and a little scary to do. So what looks like they're doing is creating a safe room. I guess you won't be able to travel so much, but here's this kind of safe haven, a place, sanctuary that you can use when you're traveling with your kids. Interesting. I might want to look into that a little more, but let's read our other topics. Virtual YouTubers in our world? ? Giant signs at Tokyo Station shows holo live talent and human fans. Okay, man, virtual YouTubers, VTubers are a thing. I am not virtual. Maybe it looks like it because I'm behind the camera, but no, I'm a real person. Adam's a real person too. He's really in Canada and we're really friends. But virtual YouTubers have been picking up a lot of pace overseas too, but I feel like in Japan, it's really booming. There's a lot of people in Japan who kind of feel like, I guess, they don't want to show their real face maybe, for reasons I'm not sure. Maybe they're working for a company and they can't be doing YouTube stuff on the side. Maybe they're shy about showing their face. They don't want other people to know, as well as putting on this persona, this character can make them feel better about themselves. Maybe it's like a therapy for them. And maybe people who are watching don't want to see a person. Maybe they want to see a cute little character. Sometimes they're looking like people. Sometimes they're just like weird, like animal kind of characters. I remember I've seen one that's just like a sun. Just like a sun and hands. Like, that's interesting. Okay. All right, well, let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we have in Sora News. Mask rules in Japan have changed, so are people still wearing them? This is a big topic. Big topic, everyone. And that's one that me and Adam have talked about in the past with many other videos, talking about how when the UK opened up their regulations for masks and wearing masks in public, that you didn't have to. I mean, even months ago, Prime Minister Kishida was mentioning that you don't have to wear masks out in public, but maybe when you are going into a store or riding public transportation like train, buses, please put them on. But now it's officially opened up. Take off your masks, burn them all, throw them in. No, don't do that. Don't waste your masks. You're still probably going to need them, for when you get sick. But an interesting topic, interesting point that I feel like we want to open up. And this is the topic we're going to talk about, everyone. Here we go. Mask rules in Japan have changed. Are people still wearing them? For everyone joining the live stream, in the comments, in the chat section, I am posting the article for this, so you'll be able to see that and read along if you'd like to. So here we go. Mask rules in Japan have changed, so are people still wearing them? It was just a few days ago. Let's read this article. We find out if people in Tokyo are ripping their masks off and throwing them into the wind in light of the new changes. Mask wearing may be a thing of the past for countries overseas, but here in Japan, it's remained very much the norm, despite the fact that face coverings have never been mandated by the government. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, so here we go. Mask wearing, of course, we know that. Thing of the past for other countries. So thing of the past means, of course, we know about the past. Mukashi, mai no jidai, the past, things that have happened in the past. Things of the past is when you're talking about those furui mono, those old things. It remained very much the norm. Okay, I like that. This is one I also use many times. Norm. Now, this could be a person's name, a guy's name in America. Norm. It's short for Normand, but the norm is short for normal. What is normal? So here we're talking about masks. Wearing masks in Japan is normal. It's the norm. Okay? And it's saying despite the fact that face coverings have never been mandated by the government. So despite is just a fancy word for saying although or but the fact that face coverings, your masks, have never been mandated. Mandated, that's a big one. Mandated just means that it was set as a rule. You have to do this. So there was never a rule saying that you have to wear face masks. They just asked, onegaishimasu. And everyone said, hai, wakarimashita. So it continues on. Here we go. Next paragraph. While mandates were never necessary, people in Japan have long worn masks to prevent hay fever and stop the spread of illness like influenza and the common cold. The government did provide guidelines for masks use throughout the pandemic. One of those guidelines was to mask up in crowded places with poor ventilation like stores, offices, and public transportation. But on March 13th, the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare changed these guidelines, now saying that mask wearing will be left up to the individual discretion. With the caveat that masks are still recommended at some facilities like medical institutions and nursing homes and on crowded trains and buses during rush hour periods. Ooh, so there we go, everyone. Maybe that's something you knew. Maybe it's something you didn't know. Let's go into some of these phrases and words that we found here. Guidelines, things that are okay to be doing within these set of rules. Here are the guidelines. This is what you can do. This is what you cannot do. Okay, poor ventilation. There's not enough free-flowing air. We'll left up. Okay, individual discretion. So individual means single person, hitori, yourself, jibu, maybe. And discretion is like, it's up to you, individual discretion. So in this sentence, mask wearing will be left up to individual discretion. Translates to, in simple terms, you can choose if you want to wear a mask or not. It's up to you. Okay? With the caveat that masks are still recommended at some facilities. Okay? The caveat, that's a very interesting word. It sounds like a French word. I wonder where it's from. Caveat. Let's see. See, this is the other fun stuff we can do here on the live streams that me and Adam don't do during our normal videos. I can do a little research to find out some of these words and see, of course, I'm a native English speaker, but there's still some words that I have trouble with, or maybe I need a reminder of what exactly it means. So here we are, found it. Caveat. A warning of specific stipulation, conditions or limitations. A warning. All right, let's see how would you say that exactly translated in Japanese. So I open up our website, jisho.org, caveat, nai. Nai. That's very interesting. Very okay. So yeah, it means like here are these rules, like saying that it's up to you. If you want to wear a mask, you can wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to. But here's the caveat. Here's the catch. Here's the difference. You found it in your dictionary? I have a bad dictionary? Come on, Jisho-kun. So what's the catch? Chui jiko. Naruhodo? Chui jiko. I guess, yeah. Interesting. I think chui jiko is just like, yeah, like things you should be careful of. Things to note. To consider. Warnings. Okay. Interesting. Where this word caveat has more of like a sense of saying like, here's really good thing. This thing is so great, But actually, it's not 100% great. And that's the sense of the caveat. It's like there's like a little trick feeling to it. Yeah? Keikoku. Ooh, that's another one. Let's see what that is. See everyone here on the weekly Jamanu for the Next Step Community live streams. Community. We come together and we try to talk about learning these words and we figure out what it is. Keikoku, warning, advice. I think it feels like a little bit more. That fuinki of caveat has more of this keikoku sound. Okay, so the caveat is masks are still recommended. Okay, recommended at facilities like medical institutions, byoin, and nursing homes, and on crowded trains and buses during rush hour period. So, right, you can take off your masks. It's up to you. If you want to keep them on or wear them, it's up to you. But be careful because there still might be recommendations at certain places. Hospitals, nursing homes, crowded areas, trains, buses during rush hour. Okay, good to know. So let's continue the story. The article. From the personal experience of our reporters, the rate of mask wearing in the center of Tokyo hasn't ever fallen below 90% in the past few years. So we were curious to find out if the new recommendations from the government would have any effects on the public. So our reporter PK Sanjun went out to assess the mask wearing situation in Tokyo on the first day the changes went into effect, starting with a train outside of peak rush hour times. Okay. So anything interesting in this sentence? In this these few lines we just read? I don't think so. Nothing that really sticks out to me. Okay, yeah. Peak rush hour? Okay. So we know rush hour, right? Rush hour is when everyone's traveling from home to work or work to home. That's rush hour. Peak rush hour. So rush hour is usually it could be maybe 2 hours or an hour and a half. All right. But peak rush hour is when it's the most crowded. So peak rush hour could be different depending on the trains you're using, or if you're driving a car, where you're driving, what certain time when everyone's using that specific train or that specific road. So peak rush hour. It's rush hour is bad, but peak rush hour is even worse. You don't want to be there. Okay. Coffee time. How you doing, everyone? Doing good? Okay. So, all right. So let's continue reading. On the train and throughout the train stations, the subway stations he passed through, PK found that there was no change whatsoever. On all the trains he boarded, the rate of mask wearing was almost 100%, with only 1 or 2 people in each car not wearing masks. With nearly all passengers wearing masks, it was exactly as it had been for a few years. Now, I'd like to just say, I feel like it's going to be like that, especially the first day that it happens. The people who have been waiting to take their masks off, maybe on the first day be like, yes, finally. But there's a lot of people who are probably just in the motions. It's become so normal, that you walk outside, you get on the train, you put a mask on. You get, even just leaving the house, you walk into a building, you put a mask on, okay? So it could just be that kind of habit that has been created over these past few years. So I kind of think okay, your first day, we'll see as it continues. Let's continue with the article. PK decided to take a walk around the busy streets of Tokyo to find out if the situation was any different outdoors. However, even here, he found that there was no change. Most people were masked as usual. Okay. Even outside. Okay. At the end of the day, PK didn't get any sense that the people of Tokyo were throwing their masks in the wind, to respond, in response to the change in government guidelines. Okay. Throwing their masks to the wind. So throwing something into the wind means you don't care about it anymore. Throwing caution into the wind. What is this? Allergies? Spring allergies? So this is a common phrase that we use. Throwing caution into the wind means you don't care. So throwing your masks into the wind, it's a little play on the words of adding masks to this phrase, means that you're getting rid of it. You don't care about your masks anymore. All right, let's keep it going. However, one factor that needs to be taken into account is the fact that it's hay fever season, which if you follow us on Instagram, you may have seen that post that I talked about hay fever, where we usually don't say hay fever. I have never said hay fever until I came to Japan. So it's technically correct, but commonly, personally, I would always either say spring allergies or just allergies. You can even say pollen allergies. So any case, that's the big factor. It's hay fever season. It's spring allergy season in Japan right now. With Tokyo experiencing some of the highest pollen in years at the moment, masks are indispensable to hay fever or allergy sufferers. You guys suffer from allergies? I've been, as I was just talking about, my nose was kind of weird. I'm okay. Pretty good. I don't feel any big effects to my nose, to my eyes, so I'm on one of the lucky ones. So for me, yeah, keep those masks off. Let's keep going. With mid-February to mid-April being the peak period for hay fever allergies, we may just have to wait another month or so to find out if the new mask wearing guidelines have any effect on the public. However, given that the public still wore masks despite the government previously advising that masks weren't required outdoors in principle, the habit of wearing masks might be a hard one for many Japanese people or for many people in Japan to shake. And that goes exactly to what me and Adam were talking about previously. A while ago, we're like, when this all finishes, how is Japan going to take it? And we were saying that, it's just so normal in Japan to wear a mask when you feel sick, to keep others from getting sick, to protect yourself, from sickness or pollen out there. So it's so common to do, and it's not like a weird thing that was put upon people, where in North America and European countries it was like getting handcuffed. It's like you're getting arrested to wear a mask all the time. So everyone, when the government was like, all right, don't have to do it anymore. I mean, even when the government was saying put on a mask, people in the US and many places were just not wearing masks. But in Japan, it's just so normal, and it was easy for transitioning into mask wearing all the time for everyone. Even I got used to it. So that's the thing. It was until last year, but I'm not good this year. Oh, okay, for allergies. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying, and as it says right here, this year's amount of pollen that's flying through the air is a lot more than usual. So maybe it's affecting more people than it would before. So yeah, keep your mask on. I guess to help with your nose, but your eyes, it still gets itchy and stuff. Okay. So this is a cool phrase right here. The habit of wearing masks might be a hard one for many people in Japan to shake. Okay. Hard one for many people in Japan to shake. Okay, I'm just going to say shake. So we know shake furu. You don't want to shake. We know Shake Shack if you want to eat some good hamburgers. But no, we're talking about shake to get rid of something. Maybe it's like, I don't know, in some movies or TV shows, if there's an air fighter pilot, maybe you saw that like Top Gun or something, or Star Wars. Maybe, do they say? I don't know. But if there is someone flying and there's an enemy flying behind them and following them wherever they go, the person up front is trying to shake the person behind them. Or, hey, you're a robber. Maybe you're watching a movie, or don't be a robber. You're driving away in your car, and there's police chasing you. You want to shake the police. And if the police stay on you, on your butt of your car, and they're following you wherever you go, and you could say, I can't shake them. I cannot shake them. I can't get rid of them. So here in this case, we're saying that the habit of wearing masks might be a hard one for many people in Japan to shake. It might be a difficult thing for people in Japan to get rid of, to forget. Nice. That's a good one. All right. Oh, 2 more paragraphs and then we're done. So let's get into it. After all, the pandemic remains ongoing, with new cases being recorded every day. And in a society where people wear masks for a common cold, the desire to protect against a potentially life-threatening virus remains strong in the Japanese psyche. Because of that, PK thinks that wearing masks won't end easily, even after hay fever season has subsided, and he'd go so far as to say he wouldn't be surprised if the rate of mask wearing remains high for another decade. Another decade? Squeeze me a baking powder? Another 10 years? Japan's going to be wearing masks? I mean, that's just what he thinks. What does everyone else think? This is something that's, there's definitely 2 sides of the whole story of the situation. There's plenty of people who still want to stay safe, and that's totally fine. I feel like people shouldn't pressure others to wear a mask or to not wear a mask. it's totally up to you. Yeah, a decade. I think that's pretty. That's stretching it. Okay, let's look into this. If we got any words, phrases. The desire to protect against potentially life-threatening virus remains strong in the Japanese psyche. Okay, the desire means something you want, right? A desire to protect is meaning that you want to protect. You have a strong desire, strong want to protect against this life-threatening virus. It is threatening your life. You could die from this virus, right? The Japanese psyche means the way of thinking, kangaikata. But it's more than just like kangaikata. It's like psyche is like a deeper mind, like fukaku kangaeru. But it's almost like shizen. It's like natural to think like that. It's the psyche of the people of Japan. All right. Subside. Okay, even though it says the hay fever season, the pollen allergy season has subsided, it might not go away. To subside means to end, to go down, to become not as hard as it is now, or not as filled with pollen if we're talking about hay fever and pollen allergies. So once that season has subsided, pretty much, again, another fancy word to say, once it has finished. Easily, right? Okay. And decade means 10 years. That's what decade means. Here we go, last one. With mask wearing deeply embedded in Japanese culture and tied up with values such as cleanliness and respect for others, those masks are likely to stay on until the pandemic is truly in the past, regardless of what the government has to say. And that's the end of the article. Deep article. We like to get some deep, interesting talks about this, because when you're practicing English, normally you're probably talking about, simple things, conversation, daily conversation. Where here, it's good to kind of challenge yourself with real life world events at the same time. A little challenging, but a little challenge is good to improve. Okay, so this last sentence, it says, with mask wearing deeply embedded. To be embedded in the Japanese culture. It means it's into the foundation of Japanese culture. Everything that is Japan has been like built up. And to be embedded means it is in there so strong that you cannot take it out. Wearing masks is a part of Japanese culture, okay? If there was a pandemic or not, it's in the culture. Yeah, regardless of what the government has to say. Here we go. So from this last little section, those masks are likely to stay on until the pandemic is truly in the past, regardless of what the government has to say. So regardless, meaning doesn't matter what the government says. Even if the government is saying, don't put on masks, you don't have to, it's up to you. The person who wrote this article, who's at PK, is saying that since it is so ingrained, it's another word for embedded, stuck, but not in a bad way, a part of Japanese culture, no matter, even if the government says you don't have to wear masks anymore, it's still going to be a thing that everyone does, wearing masks. And there we go. That's the live stream, everyone. So this is a little sample that is up, right? It's going to go up as a video for everyone to enjoy on the MJ and Adam Show channel. So you can all see what it's like to be a Next Step community member. If you go to our website, you can see a lot of the other things. We do monthly Zoom hangouts where me, Adam, all the way over in Canada, and all of the community members, we get together on Zoom at night. We have some beers, we do some activities, we do debates, we have chats and stuff. A great place to practice your English. But another really great point about becoming a member is these live streams. I'm here going more into detail about phrases and English words, using real life articles from, again, the amazing Sora News 24, to further your English learning and your English listening skills to get them better and better. Okay, so this is just, again, a little sample. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions about the Next Step community, check out the website. There should be information there. If you need more, hey, leave a comment down below and ask me, and I'll get back to you with it, or with an answer for it. Haha. See, English is hard. Okay, but that's it, everyone. Thanks again so much for hanging out. That's it, MJ. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. See ya.